Hi, this is Jen from How We End, and you are watching CMS TV.
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on your ClassicMetalShow.com. Kicking off the show with a couple of new ones from our favorite classic metal heroes. Starting off the show, we heard something brand new from Metal Church with Pick a God and Pray. Pray that we're on the air this weekend. And we just heard something brand new from Metallica, 72 Seasons, which was released yesterday, as a matter of fact, with Sleep Walk My Life Away, and a guy who's hoping he doesn't have to sleepwalk his life away from pain medications and muscle relaxers and COVID and just general life in general.
Just death. Just death lately.
Death magnetic. It's my good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on there, Chris?
I'm here. I don't hurt. I'm not ready to throw up. I'm not breathing hard. I'm not having hot and cold spells. I'm not being rushed to the hospital. This is a good moment.
Oh, well, that's good to know. I'm glad to hear that we may actually get a full show tonight.
I'm pretty confident we're going to get a full show.
All
full show sitting up. A full show, not the horse shit that we've been struggling with for the last 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever it's been.
I think it's been at least 8 weeks.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have a real show tonight.
All right.
We are going to. I literally feel great. I feel probably the best I have felt since I hurt my shoulder. So
and what transpired this week to bring that about?
Well, it's been a week, as you're well aware.
I am well aware. Last week you were just struggling even to get through just the second segment of the show. And
yeah. Well, let's go back to last week. So last week before the show, in the morning, the Saturday morning, I went to the ER because I ran out of meds and my shoulder was pulling itself off of my body.
Right.
So I went to the ER to get new meds. You're just a prescription because you can't just call and say, hey, can you give me a refill?
Right.
They make you do the whole rigmarole.
Sure.
And I think we went over this last week, but I went through the whole rigmarole. They gave me medication. Fair enough. Because I'm me and I don't sit around, looking at these damn pills and memorizing what they are or whatnot, I did not realize that they changed the muscle relaxer that I was on.
Okay.
They changed it from X to Y. And even now, a week later after being put back in the hospital with this shit, I still don't know what it is. But they changed it.
Okay.
Well, I took the muscle relaxer about an hour before the show.
All right.
I was like, all right, I'm going to try and time this. I'm going to, I was resetting anyway since I had run out of medication. So I was trying to time it so that the pain relief would be through the show. That was what I was trying to do.
Okay.
So I took the muscle relaxer an hour before the show. My goddamn system went haywire about the second we turned on, or even before that, because I was ready to do the show. And I think like 3 minutes before showtime, I texted you and said, I'm doing it from bed.
Right.
Because I just all of a sudden I was dizzy and I was sweating and I felt like I was going to puke. I mean, it was just fucking crazy time over here. And we did the first hour of the show and I just was fading fast.
Yeah, I could tell.
I was just like, I really felt like I'd been drinking for hours. It was just fucked up. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then when we started the second segment, then I couldn't breathe on top of everything else. Because then all of a sudden it was like, LA Guns. It was like that. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So that's when I bailed out. And I chilled as much as I could for a while, trying to calm everything down. It just didn't calm down. So I went back to the emergency room and was like, what the fuck is going on here? So they did a bunch of tests and blood and all that shit. And they found out that I had an allergic reaction to the new muscle relaxer that they gave me, which I don't know why they switched muscle relaxers on me, but whatever. They did. I had an allergic reaction to it. It set my system on fucking fire. So that accounts for that. So that would be 2 times in 24 hours I was at the emergency room. So I go home and, obviously after that, it takes about a day to, clear your system. So I'm just doing what I've been doing, laying around watching TV, clearing my system out. And about the end of the day, Sunday, maybe beginning of the day, Monday, my goddamn leg, my right leg, swells up to the size of a goddamn basketball. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I literally was like, this has to be it. I have to be dying here. This shit just can't keep happening over and over and over.
All right. Well, what caused your leg to swell up all of a sudden?
Well, I went back to the hospital for the 3rd time.
Now, did you have to get a separate car for your leg?
Dude, this is no bullshit. I could drive. I did drive. But my leg was so swollen that the knee part of my leg, my right leg, was pushed into the seat. I couldn't stretch out, which obviously I'm 5'8". I should be able to stretch out a little bit in a car, and I couldn't stretch at all. I was just jammed up like the Pillsbury Doughboy in a fucking tube. It was fucked up. But I go to the emergency room again, and I will say this fucking annoyed me to no end. I had a flare-up of what's known as cellulitis, which is like a bacterial thing. And I get it. This is like the 5th or 6th time I've had it. And it comes because of skin grafts. Skin grafts don't heal like regular skin.
Right.
Like to where they clean bacteria the way regular skin does when it gets a cut or a scratch or something. And I apparently got a little cut or a scratch and it just got infected and it turned into cellulitis. So that's what happened. But listen to this nonsense. This is fucking crazy. So I sort of had an idea of it. But at the same time, I've been in bed for 3 months. So I'm thinking this could be cellulitis, or with the fact that it's swollen 3 times the size, it could be a fucking blood clot, right?
Sure.
So I go into the doctor, the emergency room.
Right.
And the doctor comes in and he's like, what's going on? And I said, I think I'm having a cellulitis flare up, but I've been, I explained to him about my shoulder and that I've been on my back and that, it could possibly be a clot.
Right.
He just focused in on cellulitis and goes, okay, well, I'll get you some medicine for the cellulitis. No,
He didn't even look at it?
He looked at it, but he just touched it for a second. He's like pushing on it for a second. It was like, right. And I'm like, no, dude. I was like, you got to fucking scan this shit. I was like, you can't just say, okay, well, I'm like, I could fucking die from this.
Right. Did he wave a wand over it or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he had the magic X-ray vision or something that could see that it wasn't a clot.
No clot.
No, it's not a clot. Just fucking deal with it. It's all good. Just here, we'll give you some meds. Now get out of the fucking ER.
Sure.
But I was like, wait a minute. You got to fucking send me to get an ultrasound. He's like, oh, okay. And okay.
It's like, oh, well, I'm glad you suggested that because it would have never occurred to me. Maybe that's what I should do.
What if it was somebody that doesn't read WebMD? They might die.
Exactly.
They literally might die.
Right.
I was just like, come on, dude, be a doctor.
Yeah, do something for me.
You earn your fucking too much money.
Right.
Fucking prick. But yeah, so bottom line is I get the ultrasound. It is negative, no blood clots, and come back, get the cellulitis medicine. It has been working. The cellulitis, it's still kind of swollen, but it's fucking, at least the pain is gone and the bright red, fresh off the sun look is gone, so, and I just feel a lot better now. I almost wonder if I was getting the cellulitis a couple of weeks ago when I was sick and I just said no,
Right.
complete no to the show. And I also pulled out of Chris Aiken Presents because I was sick. I think I might have been getting the cellulitis or had the infection anyway.
Right.
And then it just finally manifested itself all the way, coincidentally, the same time as this medication fuck up.
Sure.
So in any event, I feel great. I feel better than I have felt since this. I actually worked, B, worked outside yesterday for 5 hours.
Wow.
And it was like 5 continuous hours where I just kind of sat outside and drove the neighbors crazy with the new Metallica and worked on my laptop.
So what is it that allowed you to be pain-free to do what you're doing now?
Well, I'm not going to say I'm pain-free because I'm not. I definitely still have.
Say you're not in excruciating pain as you have been. How's that?
Yeah, it's just not hurting as much. It's not, the forearm is not hurting anymore at all, which is great. The fingers aren't tingling anymore, which is great. Up here and my shoulder is still a little wonky, but it's okay. It's not too bad. And I do have this armrest thing that I have here that kind of makes sure that I don't have any gravity pulling on my arm, pulling it down.
Right.
So I'm doing that when I'm sitting here and I'm working everything left-handed. And but it's just I just kind of woke up. Truthfully, yesterday it was so fucking nice outside. I was like, I don't give a shit if I'm outside for 15 minutes. I'm sitting outside. It's too nice to be locked in my prison that I've been in.
Right.
So I went outside and I had the Metallica, which just had me rocking. And any chance I have to piss off my fucking neighbor down the street is a good day for me.
Well, what are you playing to where your neighbor down the street can actually hear it? What kind of a system are you?
Oh, my daughter bought me. It's called a JBL Charge 4. It's
Okay.
one of these speaker things.
Is that a Bluetooth speaker?
Yeah, it's a Bluetooth speaker.
Okay.
But it's loud as fuck. It is so loud. I mean, it's as loud as your car could be.
Sure.
I mean, it's very loud. And I've had this war with the lady down one house down the hill for the last 2 years. I'm not complain guy. I'm just not. And she has kids. She has little kids, like 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, whatever, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger. But they play as kids do.
Okay.
And they play soccer and shit. And, they're kicking the soccer ball up into my yard and they're kicking the soccer ball and it's hitting the side of my fucking house. And, and they're just loud and
Right.
and fair enough,
Obnoxious kids.
Yeah, they're kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't say boo to them. I really don't. I'm like, go ahead, do whatever. And I'll be honest, it really annoys me to no end on Sunday mornings because she pushes them kids out the fucking door at like 8:03 on a Sunday morning.
Right.
And for anybody that's been listening to the CMS longer than right now, you absolutely know that's about when I'm going to bed from doing the CMS. I do the CMS and then I process all the files. So around 8, 9 o'clock in the morning is when I actually do go to bed. And then all of a sudden I've got, hey, Johnny, give me the fucking ball. I've got that shit going on.
Do they actually say, give me the
No, they don't. But, they don't drop the F-bombs. But the problem is last year when I was working outside, I like working out in the front yard. If it's not too hot and it's not too not too sunny or too bright. I like to just sit out there and get real air and, work outside. And
you don't mean doing yard work. You mean doing your job outside.
Yeah, taking my laptop and moving from my desk to that desk out there, to that table. No, housework, I don't do that stuff. It's other people's jobs. That's the people that take my money's job.
Yeah, I get you.
But no, so last year when I was doing it, and I will admit I do jam some, but it's the middle of the fucking day.
Yeah, it's not like, people should be sleeping at noon.
Yeah, and I'm never out there
in a certain ethnic neighborhood.
Yeah, right. And I'm never out there at 8 a.m.
Right.
Believe you me getting out there by 11 o'clock is good.
Right.
That's me pushing myself early to get going. And last year I did not crank up full speed for a while, but this bitch called the cops on me.
Okay.
And the fucking cops came over and fucking told me that there was a complaint that I was playing my music too loud. And I told the cops to go tell her to go fucking pound salt.
Right.
I'll turn it down at 10 p.m.
Sure.
I was like, fuck you, you stupid cunt. So now it's like, all right, I feel okay. I got this new Metallica. I can guarantee you she ain't a Metallica fan. Metallica it is.
Game on.
Game on, whore.
Very good.
So, but I do feel good. I feel
good.
fine.
I'm glad to know that. Of course, we've been all concerned. I'm sure you've gotten plenty of concern messages and emails and all that kind of stuff. I too have received a few from people saying, "I hope Chris gets better. I really enjoy the show. I just hope Chris gets better."
Well, I'm glad I can bring the show to you. Glad my actual health doesn't matter, but bringing that show every week, goddamn.
Well, that is important.
I know. But no, I'm fine, and I've gotten a bunch of shit, and I do appreciate all of it, even though I have not answered all of it because there's been a lot of it. I'm fine. I'm healthier. I'm on the way to fully being recovered from the shoulder. I'd imagine I see the specialist on Tuesday, finally. That was a whole nother thing. Let me go back to the medical thing for a minute. So because I had the fucking cellulitis, they canceled my appointment last week with the specialist. Because they didn't want me going to the specialist when I had something else going on.
All right.
It's like, what the fuck is going on here? It's like, God damn it, my shoulder still hurts. Whether my fucking leg is big or small, it hurts. My shoulder hurts. Fix this shit. Ugh. Yeah, it's been... I got a book in me just on this fucking topic.
Right.
on this illness or injury and recovery.
It's called Call Me Chris Part 2.
Yeah, really. Call me broken.
I'm broken.
That's right. In every way.
Exactly. Well, good. I'm glad to know that. I'm glad you're back.
I am back.
To a show. I know that you had mentioned that we might fire up the live stream on Thursday and maybe do a show, but that didn't happen. What happened?
I sort of got busy. Honestly, I was busy with some phone shit that I was doing and a customer. And then I looked down and it was like 9:30. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch. And I was like, I just plain forgot. Honestly, that's what happened. I just plain forgot.
I thought that, and that's what I surmised. So it wasn't a big deal. I was here waiting and ready, and after about 30 minutes, I thought, okay, this isn't happening.
Yeah, well, you should have hit me up. You should have.
I know you. I know if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. So
well, I would have done it. I would have cut out of what I was doing and done it, but I just kind of forgot.
Right.
I forgot till it was too late, and then it's like, I know you sometimes these days, 9:30 my time might be fucking an hour into bed for you.
So we thought about it. We had good intentions. You were saying something about good intentions.
That's right. The road to hell, as
exactly.
that great philosopher Bruce Dickinson once told us.
Right, exactly. So, all right, well, good. I'm glad that you've gotten some kind of resolve, at least a little bit of a resolve with your current situation, because dragging out for 2 months like this was way too long.
Dude, you just don't even want to know. I literally feel like I did a prison sentence. And I know it's not, because I know I've been able to get up and move around and, get whatever I want, food or, whatever, something to drink or whatever. But being in my room almost nonstop for 3 fucking months just sucks.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Oh, I don't ever want to be in there again.
Yeah, I get you.